All right, Gabe, welcome to Folktale. This is probably our most popular wine that we make here.
I'm Gabriel Ornelas, host of Off-Road Confidential by NewsNation.
This is our wine production facility.
You can taste the wet spring, the cool summer, and all that is captured in the bottle.
It embodies that sense of place.
This was an opportunity to rediscover California.
All right, Gabe, we're gonna go see where the magic's made.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of history in this liquid here. Whether they're a chef, whether they're a restaurateur, whether they're a farmer, a winemaker, they are such integral components of creating the culture of that community and the cultural fabric of that community. And so I'm excited to really get out of the way in a lot of ways and let them shine.
We're on our third bottle already, so guess we're doing well.
You get a good energy when you walk in here.
Right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
We head over to meet with Greg from Folktale Winery. Awesome guy. Him and his wife started this winery. He comes from the beverage business. Really excited to connect with him, try the incredible wine that he's making with his team, and enjoy some of the bites that he has at his restaurant on the property.
All right, Gabe, welcome to Folktale. I'm gonna start you off here.
Yeah. Here, let me, of course. All right, so what are we gonna be drinking?
This is probably our most popular wine that we make here. It's our Folktale Sparkling Rosé, all estate fruit from here in Monterey. Blend of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome.
Salud. This is great. Oh yeah,
That'll do.
that'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do.
All right.
All right, so I think before we get into the wine, just talk a little bit about where we're at right now. What makes this area unique?
Yeah.
And ultimately kind of how you landed here.
I landed here working for a larger wine company that transferred me here to run a winery. Probably 3 days in, my wife told me she was never gonna leave. So I was
So
like,
you weren't leaving.
Okay, maybe I should plant my roots. But the thing about Monterey, man, it is such a special growing region. It's super cool climate, part of the Central Coast that goes from Santa Barbara up to Santa Cruz, and you get the influence of the ocean changes everything. The grapes that we grow here are not what we call Bordeaux varietals, like the Cabs and the Big Reds. What we get here are beautiful, complex Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, aromatic whites like Riesling. Rhone varietals like Grenache do amazing here. It's this change in temperature throughout the day that happens. You get this warm day, the ocean blows in this wind every afternoon, cools down the grapes, and the temperature swing could be 30 degrees in a 24-hour period. And so what that does is create all these layers of complexity, get this minerality, spice, along with the great balance of California fruit. So,
Oh, it's fantastic. I think so many people, when they think of California's wine region, obviously think of Napa. I think a lot more in recent years. Sonoma is obviously being talked about a lot more as well, but we have other incredible wine regions like this, and I'm always encouraging people to explore and discover, because just like what you're saying, those temporal differences, the terroir is a little bit different. You're gonna get different profiles.
yeah,
In a good way.
absolutely. In a way that's going to change your perspective on what California wine's all about. You're going to get great acidity, lower alcohol, more balance, and less kind of ripeness of fruit. So there's a little bit of an old world character that comes from this cool climate,
Yeah.
which is really, I don't know, I find to my taste. The best thing about wine is when you marry it with the food of the region,
Of course.
right? And so here in Monterey, we've got
And good company.
and good company helps absolutely. But the Monterey Bay is one of the deepest parts of the ocean in the whole world. And what it does is it creates such a blast of coolness that comes from that bay, from that water, and cools the whole region. And it is, I love Napa and Sonoma and other grape regions, but man, it gets so hot.
Yeah.
Here, I can really enjoy nature and the things that really make this place special. The seafood, we call this a salad bowl of the world. More agriculture is grown here than any state, any part of California or the United States. So you've got just this bounty of agriculture, right? Fresh produce, fruit, seafood. And when you pair that with the wines that are made here, that's what marries. Like the wines have influenced the cuisine and vice versa.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that pairing is just natural. So when you come to Monterey, you're gonna have amazing food, but you're gonna pair that with wines that go perfectly with it because they were all grown together.
You mentioned being in the wine business, but tell us how this winery came to be.
Yeah, this was a little farmland, a little ranch back in the day. A couple from New Jersey originally founded this property as a winery, and that was 1982.
Okay.
We acquired the property in 2015, and we remodeled it, replanted, changed the wine program, and renamed it Folktale. And so what we've been doing over the last 10 years is really trying to put a spotlight on what makes Monterey special, sourcing from different areas of Monterey, not just our own estate vineyards, and kind of expanding what people's thoughts are of Monterey as a growing region. We have more acreage than most areas of California, but we have very few wineries. So you have less people kind of promoting the region as a grape growing region because most of us are farmers. I would say that most of us are more comfortable on a tractor than in front of a camera, standing with a handsome man like yourself. So
Stop. Keep going.
keep going. A little bit more of that.
I've heard you say that Folktale is all about storytelling. What does that mean exactly?
It started with this idea that we wanted to tell the story of Monterey. And that evolved into kind of what does a bottle of wine do? It captures the story of what happened in that place, in that year, right? So you take a vintage and you can taste the wet spring. You can taste, the cool summer. You can taste if the vintage got warm, and all that is captured in the bottle. And I can sit and tell you, oh man, in 2002, this is what happened. And this is why the wine tastes that way. And those elements, I think, are what make wine special. And then you expand that into the idea that that bottle of wine is going to be part of enhancing the story that you're telling in your own life. When we're together here, I'm gonna have you sign this bottle. I'm gonna memorialize it, sleep with it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna be like, you know what? Me and Gabe shared that bottle of wine. And it takes you back. I mean, I can taste a glass of wine and it can take me back to a meal, a moment, a celebration. Just like the perfect song or the perfect meal.
Absolutely.
Can transport you to a place at a time.
It embodies that sense of place.
Yeah.
And the emotions
100%.
that come with that.
100%. Yeah.
Which what I agree is so beautiful about food, wine, music, other other great arts, because this is an art.
Agreed. The winter time when the vines are dormant is a different kind of beauty time. And this is when our grapevines get to sleep, and we come in here and we tend to the vineyard and prune the vineyard, and what we do is we remove all these shoots that had grown out throughout the year, and we trim that down throughout the entire vineyard. I mean, this is all done by hand. We go through and cut every single shoot to get the vineyard ready for the upcoming spring. And what's going to happen come March, April, you're going to start seeing bud break, right? And so these little flowers are going to start shooting out. You're going to get little blossoms that are eventually going to turn into grapes. And that really begins the year, right? As we get into the summer season, the vineyard starts getting lusher and lusher. Now you're going in and you're tending to the vines because you want to manage what we say, manage the canopy. So we're managing how much sunlight and heat is coming into this vineyard, right? If you have a thick canopy and a thick lushness that you don't manage, then you're gonna either not get enough sun, you're gonna get too much sun, like there's all kinds of things. So you're really kind of managing that. So the more time one has with a vineyard, the more you get to know it, right?
Yeah.
And it becomes a relationship that this vineyard begins to talk to you, and it tells you what it needs. It tells you whether it needs more sun, more water, more airflow, things like that. And so tending to the vines is 75% of winemaking. If it's like baking a cake with bad ingredients. If you start with bad, it's tough to make great.
Ingredients matter.
If you start with great, it's a lot easier to maintain that, right? So the work we do in the vineyard is the most important thing we do. I think between that and sanitation, it's a kitchen, right? I mean, we are making something that is organic, that is living, that you're going to put in your body, and so we want it to be as natural and as possible. We don't want anything but really grape juice in that. And so, that's the advantage of being a winery of our size, where we're able to tend everything by hand, and really
Attention to
care for it.
detail.
Yeah.
How was 2024 vintage?
2024 was such a nice vintage, in that it was what we would describe as like a very manageable and predictable weather pattern and a harvest season. The previous year we had a very, very late harvest. Everything started late. Everything was 3 weeks, 4 weeks behind. And by the time the grapes were ready, what normally takes us maybe 45 to 60 days, we had to all do in 3 weeks. It was 24/7 for 20 days of just bringing fruit in, because everything was late and cool, and then the temperature spiked and the sugar started rising, and then you just gotta get that fruit in. So this 2024 was beautiful because it was a nice wet spring, a nice warm summer, a nice drawn out harvest period, so that all your fruit, you were able to just check the sugars and let them mature and develop at a pace that was super manageable, and that you could bring that fruit in and manage it the way you wanted to, when you wanted to. And it was just much less of a frenzy. And I think what you're gonna see is really, really high quality 2024 vintages coming out, because vineyard managers and winemakers were able to take care of that fruit in a different way than they were the year before, where we were just scrambling to keep up. 2024, we were really able to nurture every little part of the process.
What's important for people to know about Folktale Winery, and maybe this specific region as well?
Folktale is unique in that we're the only winery in Carmel-by-the-sea, right? So here in Monterey, we have a very large county. The difference between the north part of the county and the south part of the county is very dramatic. You've got a 20-degree swing in temperatures from north to south on any given day. So, and here on the coast, we have a very unique challenge with the maritime influence, right? It's very, very cool here. So getting your fruit ripe is a challenge. We have over 400 acres that we farm in the valley, so throughout different parts of Monterey, so we're able to mitigate the risk. But here we really focus on what is going to succeed in a cool climate. Folktale, I think, is extra special because it's easy access for everyone that's visiting Carmel and Monterey to come visit a winery, to see how wine is made in a boutique, handcrafted way. And we have a beautiful restaurant and culinary program, and so you can come here and have a full day. I mean, half the time we're having to ask people to
leave.
make some more space because they're not leaving. I've had people have lunch and dinner here.
Yeah. You don't have to go, but you can't stay here.
Right. We've got great bottles of wine to go.
Exactly.
No, so I mean, we're just past the fog line, so it's always sunny here. It's always beautiful. We've got live music, so it's really Folktale is about creating those joyful memories. And what we want to do is we want you to come out here and just enjoy what is Carmel. I mean, that's quintessentially it. This beautiful valley, the beautiful weather. You get that. You can still smell the ocean from here, and it just makes it a special place that. To get to the next closest winery is another 40 minutes. It's tough. We have a lot of tasting rooms, which are great and educational. But here you get to be in the vineyard. You get to come out here when in the summer and in the fall. I'm out here having people taste the grapes for me and see where we are in the process of growing that wine. Which sounds funny, right? Growing wine, but that's what we do.
To you, what is Carmel? How do you describe Carmel to people?
Yeah, Carmel. It's funny when I'm traveling. People, I say I live in Carmel-by-the-sea, and they're like, "Oh, that's paradise," and I'm like, "Yeah, it kind of is. Kind of is." You're right. Hate to say it, but it is not only a beautiful piece of nature, right? A piece of land on a beautiful coastline, but there's a spirit here that still exists from the 1800s when Carmel was founded, where you have this kind of combination of pioneer spirit, kind of a cowboy vibe, mixed in with this bohemian artist vibe, and those two things intermingling create this community that is magic. It's magic, man. You've got people that I still believe in a handshake here, and the idea of community is not just a buzzword. It's really something that people embrace. When things happen here in Carmel, all the people get together, and really the unity is amazing. It's a little bubble, I think, and sometimes I feel so blessed to just be part of this community and be able to be participating in making it better and sharing it with people. I think, I don't know, since we moved here, my parents moved here, my brother moved here, our childhood friends moved here, where it's getting crowded.
Yeah.
I gotta move somewhere else. Where do you live?
We're not accepting anymore. No. No, but I mean, that's a testament to obviously the community here and the community that you've built. And you're right, that is a term that's sort of thrown around a lot. But when it's real,
it really means something.
It means something.
Yeah.
And you feel it.
Yeah.
What excites you the most about what you're doing at Folktale Winery?
Whew. What excites me the most? Man, this is, look, I'm lucky. I get to do this, right? This is my job.
Yeah.
Now it's tough sometimes at 6:30 in the morning to taste through 20 wines, and that sounds like work to me. But I think it's exciting because what's interesting about Carmel and Monterey is that it's not led by trends. There's an authenticity to like starting with the land, starting with what we grow, starting with what is available to us in this community, and turning that into something rather than thinking about what's hot or what is trendy. And so for us, it's really about, there's been a lot of times when we've had ideas or businesses that missed the mark because we were thinking, oh, you know what, this is really hot in LA. It should work here. It won't work here.
No.
And so really being in touch with the community and supporting it, and it's a little village. It's good and bad, but it makes it really, really special. And so, Folktale is about to undergo a big remodel. This is our 10-year anniversary, so it's a real special year for us.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's,
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
appreciate it. We have a vision for the winery to become a destination and really continue to tell the story of Monterey and highlight all the things that we love about it. And we hope that when people come here, they leave here with an impression of what Carmel is, that goes home with them and that they share. I think it's a pretty special place.
I think it's incredibly special. Keep being the storytellers.
Fair enough.
That you are.
Cheers.
Salud.
All right, Gabe, we're gonna go see where the magic's made.
Yeah, absolutely. Rude not to. Well, please, after you.
There we go. All right. So this is our wine production facility. We're going to taste you on a barrel that I've been working on for 7 years.
Wow. Incredible.
The best thing about a cellar is that it's your mom's not watching, so you just take your wine and you just toss it out.
I love that. Mom's not watching. We're not going to get in trouble.
Put your glass down. All right. All right, if
Thank
you
you,
don't
sir.
mind holding these glasses.
Of course, I don't mind at all.
So this barrel, what we have in this barrel is our Sol train, we call it, S-O-L train, named after the process of Solera winemaking. And what we do here is, 7 years ago we made a skin fermented white wine. So we basically made white wine the same way we make red wines, in that we left it on the skins during the fermentation. And what it does is it extracts color, it extracts tannin, and more complexity than just removing the skins right away. And so a lot of times this wine is referred to as orange wine, not because there's any oranges in it, but because of the color, the amber color. In this case, we would take, we would bottle our first vintage, and then we would only bottle half of it. We would leave half, and then the next year we would fill it with the new vintage. And we do that every year, so that what happens is you get this amazing complexity of multiple vintages being aged over time, and new vintages being added. So this kind of a interesting story that's told here, in that it just has 7 vintages all combined into one wine.
There's a lot of history in this liquid here.
If you want to lose a lot of money in the wine business, this is the wine you make.
This is where you focus.
This is your number one priority.
I love that.
Your money is tied up for the whole time.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, look at that coloring.
Yeah, so you get this nice like orange tinge, this kind of amber color. We don't really do much with this one. We don't filter it. We don't like manipulate it in any way, right? So it's just layer after layer, and what you get is the earliest vintages start getting a little oxidation to it, a little age, right? A little bit of kind of almondy, nutty character, and then the freshness.
You keep adding that with
keep
each
adding
new
that.
vintage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Wow.
and then someday I'll get my money out of you. Who knows when?
Thank you for sharing
Cheers.
this.
Yeah, my pleasure. Right? It's got like a
Oh my gosh,
butterscotchy
yeah.
caramel kind
Yeah.
of vibe to it, right?
Oh my gosh.
And that's not coming from oak, right? So this oak, this barrel is 7 years old as well. So we haven't moved the wine to a new barrel. So what you're just getting is you're getting that the older vintages, like a port, kind of developing over time.
Yeah.
You're getting that oxidation and that carameliness and butterscotch notes are developing from the age of the wine, right? And then you're getting that kind of fresh acid and bright fruit layer on top of it. So it's just like got lots of complexity going on. So
Well, it's fantastic.
So Now we're gonna do a little Soul Train line. We'll
Yeah,
dance.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, I'm like, soul. S-O-L, S-O-U-L.
Where's Don Cornelius?
So yeah, it's my birthday weekend, and we are doing a girls' brunch together. And what better place than Folktale, where you're surrounded by beautiful hills and the vines and great people and great wine.
What's your day been like here?
Good so far. We're just getting started, really, and we're on our third bottle already. So, guess we're doing well.
I do love if you love the outdoors, this is a must. You got these wonderful valleys and mountains, and then just like maybe 20 minutes down the road, you have these amazing ocean escapes.
Yeah, and there's really great vibes. Just like walking around the town, everyone's so friendly, lots of shops. We did some shopping yesterday. It's a perfect like weekend getaway.
What are we going to be opening up?
You know what? We got to taste that 7-year Solera.
Yep.
So this is the Soul Train.
Okay.
So
There it
thought
is.
I
Yeah,
thought
the Soul
I'd
Train.
show you what it looked like in the bottle. But
Beautiful.
Given where we are, I also wanted to open up this bottle of whole cluster Pinot Noir.
Okay.
This is a wine that I just love. It's what's great about this bottle is that what we do is we ferment the grapes on the stem whole berry.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't remove the stem. We call destemming. We don't remove the berries from the stem and then ferment the juice. We ferment. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We ferment the berry whole, and what you get is you get so much more complexity. You get a little bit of forest, a little bit of herbaceousness. You get to really taste that vineyard in a different way than if you just tasted the fruit.
Is this where we're going to start?
Let's start here.
Yeah.
This is from a region in Monterey called the San Lucia Highlands. It's the western kind of western slope of the valley, and so
Beautiful.
we make the wine and then we select the label art based on what we think will represent what's in the bottle. And we
So is every vintage different?
not every vintage, but
Okay.
every wine is.
But every
different.
wine is
Right,
different.
so-
Okay,
So
okay.
you can see like the whole cluster Pinot has this label from the 17th century, a painting by Archibaldi.
It's so cool.
And then the Soul Train is a different, like medieval astronomy kind of calendar. And the Soul Train kind of talks about kind of time and what the effect of time is on that wine. And this whole cluster, all the like floral and vegetal and fruit notes are what I think is captured in this.
Salud.
wine. Salud.
Cheers. It's very good.
Right, so it's not
It's
just
nice.
fruit you're getting,
Yeah.
and it's not just ripeness. You're getting that kind of like you can taste the rocks, you can taste the skin.
Yeah, there's a little bit of minerality
yeah,
there. Yeah,
a little woodiness.
Yep,
and
yep. It's very, very nice.
I know what we're doing from a winemaking standpoint.
Yeah.
And then I already have an idea in my head of what I want to express on the label, and it's just about finding that piece of art. It might be, we might make Albarreño and it's a Spanish varietal. So I'm like looking at the history of Spanish art, particularly folk art, and going into that deep hole, that rabbit hole of things that, I have labels that I pulled out of like obscure books I found in a used bookstore, or, like
There's
an old
inspiration
perfume
everywhere.
bottle or whatever. And,
There's inspiration everywhere. I think that's
But in
what's
the end,
incredible.
it's like what's going
in
to
the
tell
bottle?
the story of
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
in the
yeah.
bottle.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that makes sense. Talk a little bit about kind of where we're at and ultimately sort of the vibe and the culture you're trying to create around this incredible space.
Yeah, you know what? We're just, I really wanted to have this idea of the wine garden, kind of a beer garden vibe, but
Sure.
like beer garden meets Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
So it was just like, you know what we want to do is we want to have people come out here, sit in the sun, enjoy the Carmel weather. I mean, on our hottest day, maybe we're 82 degrees. You know, so it's not ever so hot that you're uncomfortable. It's gorgeous. We're surrounded by mountains and greenery. And to me, this is exactly how I want to hang out with the people I love and enjoy wine and food and you know, we have live music every day, and so it's just like the perfect place to hang out and just spend your day and enjoy yourself, play cornhole, listen to live music. So I guess this is how I wanted to spend my days. And so we wanted to bring Folktale into this is the lifestyle. And you know, we like to say that our mission at Folktale is to create joyful moments. And like
this is the embodiment. This is the embodiment of that sort of joyful moment. Yeah. I love that.
If you're not happy doing this, I don't want to know you.
Can't help you. Can't help you.
Got everything but dolphins here, you know, so.
No, it's really fun. You get a good energy when you walk in here, and honestly, we couldn't have asked for a better day.
Couldn't have asked for a better day. Yeah. This is beautiful. You know, I gotta give a lot of credit to our people. Like, they bring our brand to life. Like the interaction that you have with our staff, that's the best compliment I get from people. Is like, man, so and so was taking care of me and it was incredible. Yeah. And they don't talk about the food and the wine and the music and all that stuff. They talk about their experience, and that's what brings the brand to life.
Being a beverage guy, you know, yourself, you understand that the hospitality component is so integral. It's so important. Yeah. You know, like, there's a lot of good food in a lot of places. Absolutely. There's a lot of great wine in a lot of places. But when you layer good food, good wine with that integral component of just genuine human connection, it's kind of priceless.
Yeah, that's what creates the experience. Yeah. I agree. All right.
Cheers. Thank you.